Good morning. I need coffee. I need good coffee. It's crazy. For years, I've been saying what I've been saying, right? And balance is important because if I truly believe that I didn't have balance and I was all over the place, spiritually, mentally, I couldn't say with confidence I would feel good about, you know, the content that I create. Good morning, Uncle Andy. However, I do make a conscious attempt to really stay balanced, right? All around the board. I think that is one of the missions in life, right? As you get older, you really have to. In the beginning, it's training wheels because your guardian should be helping you adjust to life. It doesn't always happen, trust me. I've seen it firsthand where people grow up without anyone that loves them. I've seen this. Trust me, I've seen this. And all you could do is really give thanks that if you grew up and that's not your story, just give thanks. Because there's millions where that's their story. They don't know how to love because they was never loved. And it may sound crazy to you, but that's because you obviously had someone loving you when you were young and looking out for you and caring for you. But there's a lot of people who don't have from the getty up, from they come out the womb. There's nobody there that really loves them, so they may not know anything about me. Like I'm talking to you guys about balance right now. I don't know nothing about that. They've been trying to have them to survive since they came out the womb on their own. But my story was crazy, but the Most High always had his hand over me. So I can't say it was that crazy. I did have two parents that was addicted to heroin, but then I was taken from them at an early age and given to loving parents that would be able to provide and take care of me. That story got kind of crazy too, but then I had my mother who had the strength to maintain the best way she could, and she wasn't up on no drugs or nothing like that. My second father, he became addicted to crack. But that couldn't have been easy either, and it wasn't. I seen her work a lot of jobs just trying to maintain everything. So those are supposed to be the training wheels until you get old and you figure out, how do I adjust this? How do I balance this all? How do I balance the physical balance, the mental balance, the spiritual balance? You should figure it out, but it does take a conscious effort to do so. If not, you'll be rolled with the 85% sheeple people, and may God bless your soul there. But I make a conscious effort. I may say a lot of things that shock your ears, right? But I say a lot of these things to make you think, right? Because I know you may be affected by the illusion that they don't put down here. Not saying that we live in a hologram, actually not saying that we don't. But there is an illusion that people want to project onto the main, and by people, I do mean not just the elite. You know what I'm saying? That is broad to say the elite. There are many elite, and all the elites don't get along. But the story of taking advantage of the lesser people is a very old story going back to the Sumerian clay tablets. So the people who have all the power, have all the money, have all the influence, they will narrate the story if they can. So my little voice, as I've been saying all these years, yo, this is like money laundering that the government is doing. They're giving out money and they're getting these contracts. But it wasn't being heard because I got a little small platform. And not only that, I think it would have still been heard because a lot of people understand what I be talking about. But on top of that, you have platforms like YouTube that will censor your message. It's not that I'm saying the wrong thing. It's just that they don't want that message out there because I may influence one or two people, and God forbid I influence one or two people at that point, right? Why can't you do the content that everybody else is doing about the entertainers and about the gossip and about this? And look, we just put out a story about this. Go talk about this. But I don't want to talk about that. So it's like, why would you go digging over here when you got all this beautiful content over here you could talk about, and with the sparkly glitter and all of this stuff? Here, we put it out there for you. But the way my mind works, I see through all of that, and I go to what's more important, what's more pertinent, priority. That's not important, right? So right now you have 50 Cent in the beef with a drug dealer who everyone wanted to be about. I could talk about that. First of all, this platform is not really set up to be talking about this ghetto nonsense. You know, every once in a while I may dive into it, just because I feel like a message needs to come out. That, not so much. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a priority right now. What's more of a priority is what I've been talking about, the purse of the United States being allowing anyone, and not anyone, but anyone with security clearance or the requirements and the authorization to go in and get this money. And I felt like, yo, we've gotten out of hand with that, right? Our politicians are, and it wasn't just so much our politicians. Like, it was a clear route. It was a clear map on how to get government funding. Not to say that people should not get government contracts, but what I'm telling you is this thing had to get way out of control, and you could clearly see it, right? Now, if I need a government contract to do something, which I will be going after this year, to run programs for out-of-school programs, that's different. But to say you're going to do that only so you could get the money and go do whatever you want to do is totally, it's a different story. And we've been looking at this behavior. We've been seeing this behavior. It is disgusting. It has been disgusting. But now, thank God. You know, again, many people may have their qualms with President Trump. And I always say, it's not everything that he does that I agree with. And I will tell you if I agree with something he does and something he doesn't. But I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater because he do one thing that I disagree with, then I'm like, yo, I can't rock with Trump no more. That's ridiculous. That's not even like wise to make decisions based off of one thing, two things that he may do, instead of looking at the overall amount of things that he's done for the greater good, right? That's me though, because at this point, I'm fully aware there's a lot of emotional people out here, and they're going to do things for their own reasons. However, know how this whole Doge agency was going to play out. I didn't. And what happens is you get post-traumatic syndrome because you've been taken advantage of so many times, and it's like, yo, y'all about to take us to the bank too? Like, let's see if you keep it real. Let's see. And not saying that they angels and not saying they're going to do everything perfect, Doge. But let me tell you, just like Trump, so far, Doge is doing a tremendous job. Could it backstab us later on? Possibly. But right now, Doge. Now, I can see already that YouTube is going to suppress this video. How do I know? Because I could just tell from the amount of views. I usually get a certain amount of views. Being that I got Usaid, which stands for what? United States Agency of International Development, which is crazy, right? Because for you to come up with the acronym, it's representing Usaid, and then if you knew, like on the outer meaning, you would assume that, oh, you guys are giving aid, but on the inner meaning, it's literally telling you, basically, yo, we are here to basically deceive, right? Because if we really cared about America, we would not create an agency with such an enormous budget for international interruptions, and which we call aid, but it's usually some type of interruption and misguided involvement. Uncle Andy, you know what I feel good about Uncle Andy? I don't care if this video gets views or not. I just feel good that we were right. You understand? Like, I didn't want to be up here spewing conspiracy theories, even though in my heart I felt like, this ain't a conspiracy theory. Someone is trying to purposely turn people, like use this whole transgender. If you was a true transgender, like the transgenders we seen back in the days, some dude that always dressed in the dress, and nobody bothered that dude, by the way. Everybody left that dude alone, by the way. No one bothered him. He wasn't out here doing too much. He knew his limits, and we let him be. No one chased him up the block. You might even have a conversation with. It was never a thing. He did what he did. You knew what he did. And everything else was everything. He knew not to talk to kids. He knew this. That would break the unwritten trust. We allowed you to stay here in the community. Why I see you talking to a young boy at the corner. Then you get the brakes beat off you. But other than that, there was always transgenders. There was always homosexuals. Right? You guys hear me say a lot of shocking stuff, and it makes it seem like, yo, is he a homophobe? No, I'm just saying this to rival you. I'm trolling you. I troll the people that come in here when I say all these things. Get you to think, right? In the right direction of why we should give more preference to someone now. What have you done for the United States? What have you done for your community? I'm giving you more preference. Right? I know I'm not in the wrong. I'm just saying something that is shocking to your ears. If I make a comedic skit out of it. But why would I give someone a job that's not really qualified more than this person, but because you are disabled or gay or black, I'm going to give you a job? That's just ridiculousness. It's just ridiculousness. If this person is more qualified. I'm happy. Shout out to Tiger in the building. Shout out to Spitfire in the building. I'm happy today because all the proof is coming out. All the proof. I'm happy. I feel vindicated, as you should. If you was on that kick where you was like, yo, are they really trying to use the media and all of their influence and power to push a whole trans optical frequency? Because that's what it really was, right? It was to get that frequency in front of your face every chance they got. And I'm gonna tell you something, it really wasn't for you older people, it was for your children. If you didn't believe me before and I was right, and I was, then you should believe me now, because I'm right again. It wasn't for you, unless you're an old, weak-minded person. They'll take you. Come on in here too. But it was really for your children. It was really for young people, if you could see that. I've learned this 25, 30 years ago. I knew about this, that they would be attacking the children first. I knew this 25, 30 years ago. I didn't just start studying this subject. I started with Bill Cooper, Behold the Pale Horse. But then I moved on to people like David Icke. This ain't his first book. It's definitely not the only book I got for him, right? This might be his first book. I don't know. But you know, these people been saying this for like 20 or more years. What's crazy is everything they said was true so far that we could prove outside of the reptilians. That's the only thing that they couldn't prove yet, which I believe. But that's neither here nor there. Don't want to start a whole show about reptilians. Call us crazy, but everything the man said so far has been true. Everything Bill Cooper said has been true. Everything. And yet, they call us conspiracy theorists. Well, at this point, you just got to wear it as a badge of honor. At this point, just wear it as a badge of honor. I'll be called that. Now, it's one thing to spew what you may feel, right? And you're like, I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stand on business because I think I'm right. But it's a totally different thing when the White House, but thanks to Donald Trump, is it Donald J. Trump? What's the J for? Thanks to Donald Trump and his autistic partner in crime, Elon Musk. Can't mess with the autistic. I tell you, that's their power, right? So if they're slightly, it depends on the aggressiveness of the autism. I knew a kid who remembered the whole encyclopedia, and all the kids used to run around and ask him questions about the encyclopedia all day, and he would tell you. If he read it, if he read it in there, he didn't forget it. He'd tell you. But that's their power. Elon Musk is obviously intelligent at another level. I don't always agree with everything he does or says. But the White House, I could read that right there. That's the whitehouse.gov. At Usaid, waste and abuse runs deep. Now, I am going to listen to Kim Iverson because hit the like button right when you come in. Yes, King Donald Trump. Shout out to Donald Trump. He came up with Make America Great Again, and he's doing it. He's saving everybody, and I don't know how they can't see that. Now, there's a bunch of people who needed these funds who's out here protesting. Obviously, what would you do? You know what I'm saying? If you've been living for decades high on the hog, you probably don't even show up to that make-believe job that they done created for you because all of the money and the funds is coming from Usaid right? So you've been living high off the hog. He just come in there and cut the power to the joint. Yeah. Whatever little bit of money you got left, you're going to pay protesters to go out and say, "Oh, save Usaid." Before we save Usaid, you mind if I read a little something? Do you mind if I read a little something what we've been spending Usaid on? You don't mind? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Hit the like button when you come in here. Do subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button right there. That's easy. The like button take a little bit more effort because you got to do the double dip. Then hit the 3 dots and all of this other stuff. If you find it, you find it. I love it. However, the subscribe button is right there. We doing 5,000. I'm going to hit, y'all going to help me hit 5,000 this weekend. 5,000 subscribers we're going to have by Sunday. Y'all going to help me do that. Everybody, welcome Spitfire to the Poker Face Society. Okay, for decades, the United States Agency for International Development, crazy, has, who are you? You had so much money because of your relationship with the central bank, which they tried to hide with a mirage of different agencies in between, right? They splitting it up into 12 different Federal Reserves. Then they got a chairman of the governor of the chair and all of this of the Federal Reserve, 13 entities. So it kind of like camouflages how the money is circumvented because they want to make it so confusing, but they know exactly how it works. They involve all type of other agencies, the IMF, One World Bank. They know exactly how it works at the end of the day. So all these years, you felt because of your relationship with the Federal Reserve and the fact that we were sold out, meaning 1910 when they decided that our birth, remember, you ever went to church, they say you born into sin, and you ever sit there, you young, so you asking your pastor, you asking your mommy or your papi, how am I born into sin? Like, this don't even, yo, bro, I just got here. What are you talking about? I was born into sin. When you're born and your mother signs on that birth certificate, she's actually signing you over to the government, which is nuts, right? We're not told this. However, your name will be put on a certificate, a docket certificate. These are the facts. And you will be issued a social security number. And this is evidence to the bank that they will receive some type of ROI, return on investment, for you, which continues to allow the U.S. government to take loans of money. Maritime law, Brian, yes. So because they came up with this scheme, and the politicians and the people that's getting this money, they fully understand. So they're like, yo, that money's always going to be there for us. Let's just run it up, as we say in the hood. Let's run up a bag. I got an older audience. I look at my different demographics. I got a lot of people that watch me 65 and older. Anytime you hear somebody say run up a bag, that means we about to get a whole lot of money from wherever that is. If they say run a bag up in church, that means we're going to take advantage of it. We're going to get this money. They say it anywhere. Let's get it while the door's open. Run the bag up. Right? Teach y'all a different language today. So therefore, in government, with all these general service contracts going on, you could be a non-government agency. You could turn yourself into one, and then certain things you gotta do. It's not hard. You start a company, get a lawyer, get an accountant, know what your company's gonna be about. There's a couple of numbers you gotta sign up for. I think Dunn's, Sam's, get your Sam's number. You're already gonna have your EIN. It's not even hard, right? And then you're gonna be qualified to register and see what contracts are up there for bidding, and you put them in and you see what happens. Obviously, if you have a working relationship with some of these other people, it's not supposed to go down like that. You're not supposed to be able to know somebody who's giving out these contracts. What I'm telling you, there's a lot of things in life that's not supposed to happen. That happens somehow. Still happens. Wasn't supposed to happen, it happens. So, there are people who know someone who it kind of like gives them favor when it comes to a contract, right? If that was the case, Halliburton wouldn't have just got the contract to rebuild Iraq, right? But before the freaking fires were out over there, it was announced that Halliburton was going to be over there rebuilding Iraq. We will talk about the land grab in Gaza after this. We will talk about the land grab. What do I think about Donald Trump? Michael McFarland, you wasted your time typing that? Why wouldn't you just sit there and listen to me, bro? Is that going to determine if, just listen to me. What if I didn't like Donald Trump, right? Would you just log off? Why wouldn't you listen to me if I'm saying something you like or if I'm interested in it? It doesn't matter if I like Donald Trump or not. If I'm not interested to you, then you just log off and be like, I'm not even interested in what he's saying, period. Or you can wait. Doesn't matter if I like Donald Trump or not if I'm saying something that's either interesting or correct. Doesn't even matter. For decades, the United States Agency International Development, Usaid, has been unaccountable to taxpayers as it funnels massive sums of money to the ridiculous. Well, I appreciate the White House for writing that statement. However, the Pentagon has also been unaccountable. They put in an audit. The audit never reveals anything. The audit never reveals anything. So it's cool that you call out Usaid, and we could talk. We're going to talk about that. But where's the pressure on the Pentagon as well? But I applaud Donald J. Trump because he started with Usaid, which they did delegate some money to the Pentagon too. So we'll talk about that. So actually, it could have been tactful and strategic on the Department of Government Efficiency's behalf. It could have been, all right, let's not start here, because if we start with the Pentagon, everybody going to push back, and we're not powerful enough for that yet. Let's start with the legs. You understand? Let's take out the knees. Right? Hit him in the kidneys, and then soon enough we'll get to where we're supposed to get. Or before we even get there, they'll start to get their stuff in order. They'll start to get their stuff in order because they're gonna know, they're gonna come for us next, and we've been jacking out the money, bro. We've been playing it. They thought USAID was playing around. We've been out here jacking off with the money. Unaccountable. It says the United States Agency for International Development has been unaccountable to taxpayers and funnels massive sums of money to the ridiculous, in many cases, malicious pet projects of entrenched bureaucrats with next to no oversight. And these are the people. Everyone stop. Hear what I'm saying. Everyone is interested in the president, the president, the president. Every morning I wake up and somebody else talking about the president, the former president, the new president, who may be the present president. Yo, talk about your congressmen and your senators, because these people are just as guilty. Here are only a few examples of the waste and abuse. 1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities. Just count the money for right now. 1.5 million. To Serbia. They say for advanced DEI, but let me ask you this. How many black people are in Serbia? Y'all don't mind if I take the slow conversation, right? How many black people are in Serbia? Now, when they gave him this money, was it to import black people over there? Was it to like, hey, you guys have a very large black community that you're not really including in things, and this money is to inspire you to incorporate more of the black people in Serbia into what you're doing? Or, because me and you both know that's not true, right? So let's exclude the black people that are, because these black people are losing their mind out here, but they're puppets, right? As soon as they call to take the DEI money away, all of a sudden black people up and up, yo, they taking money. Yo, bro, you wasn't even one of the top recipients of the DEI money, I assure you, black people. So you're really playing yourself. You really look crazy out here in these streets, marching and protesting because they're not giving DEI crumbs to you, because that's all you was getting. You wasn't getting the bag. I don't know why you keep thinking these people love you. They've never treated you right. Not to cause racial disharmony, but you guys, at some point, you got to start to thinking like you sitting around waiting for someone to love you. So, I can assume that when they gave this money to Serbia, it had nothing to do with black people. So what's some of the other categories in DEI? Well, we know for sure transgender, and we know for sure handicap. Okay. Do y'all think it was for the handicap that they gave this money to Serbians? They don't have a large black demographics over there in Serbia, so maybe it was for the handicap. We need y'all to include more people in what y'all do over here in Serbia, more handicapped people. If you want to believe that. Me personally, I'm going to go with what I've been seeing, which is the rainbow flag, which is not even just a rainbow flag. That flag has like transformed into something else. It got designs, and they've added all type of colors, and it's really out there, right? It's a symbol about nothing. We don't know what it means at this point, which is exactly what they want you to, how they want you to feel that way. Like, you see it, but the only thing that you could come out in your face and say is that a gay flag, which may not be politically correct. This is why I don't subscribe to any type of political correctness. Someone came over just the other day, and they was upset at my language, right? And they thought I should be a little bit politically more correct. And I had to inform them, you are on the wrong show. I am not. I'm telling you I'm not politically correct. You will be scarred over here listening to me if you're waiting for someone who's politically correct. I am the opposite of politically correct. I know how to turn it down, but I assure you I'm the opposite of politically correct. Because they've used that political correctness to censor people, and they've used it as a weapon to brainwash people. So because I fully understand that, I go out my way not to be politically correct. There's plenty of gay people that would support what I'm saying. There's plenty of trans people that feels like, yo, because I'm trans doesn't mean I need to go try to turn some kid trans. You understand? There's plenty of gay adults who feel like, yo, because I'm gay, I don't need to influence another child to be gay. Like, whatever that child decides to be is what that child... How about we stay out of that? There's plenty of gay people who would agree with me on this. So we have to understand when something is being weaponized to brainwash people, then we have to ask, why are you doing that? That's the big question. Why are you going into elementary schools and you're doing all this? Why would you spend this type of money trying to influence young people to participate in either one, homosexuality, or two, transgender behavior? Because what we know is that although it is their choice, any homosexual, that they cannot have children naturally. We know this. That's not cruel to say. You got two women that love each other and they marry each other. They're not about to have a child naturally without artificial insemination, whatever these people do in science. You got two men who love each other, who decided, yo, we're going to join forces, we're going to be together. They're not about to have a child naturally without the help of science. So we come to the conclusion that the only reason you would be trying to inspire children to navigate towards homosexual lifestyles or a transgender lifestyle is because you want to decrease the population. And then when we say that, you call us conspiracy theorists, but nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Now that we come to a point of conclusion about why are you doing it, we watch how much money, the evidence. Here go the evidence, right? So you can keep telling us no, and making it seem like if I disagree with this advertisement of either transgender or homosexual behavior, you could keep on going and make it seem like, oh, you're just a homophobe, right? I understand Edward Benet's curriculum. I understand that you went to a think tank and they prepped you on how to respond and engage in this type of discourse. I understand that. But here's the proof. The money. Just follow the money, right? That's what we get into. $70,000 for production of a DEI musical in Ireland. Let us not believe that there is not some type of United States constituent who is getting a kickback from this money. Hit the like button while you come in here. And do subscribe, because I'm going to tell you something. As I'm reading this off, do understand that the good people of North Carolina went through a devastating catastrophe where the mainstream media is not even talking about it. Thousands are dead in North Carolina. Neighborhoods are ruined in North Carolina. And they're out here giving $1.5 million for diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia. How do you feel, America? Right? I understand that some people are so zealot driven and extreme that they hate what America's done to them. And I understand that, right? You could be black and you just feel like, yo, you're aggressive, and now you're out there with Al Sharpton at the Costco's getting the free samples, thinking you on to something, huh? Scarfing down free samples every other aisle, thinking you out there fighting the power. Telling everybody that will listen that you hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is what other president was about to do this? What other president was about to find the leakage and put a stop to the leakage, man? EF says, I don't stay in Carolina, but I'm mad about that situation. As you should be. I don't stay in North Carolina. But that's not the point. These are our neighboring states. These are American citizens, man. These are Americans. This is what I was trying to explain about the border, right? You can't let in 20 million undocumented migrants. Immigrants and migrants are two different things. You can't let in 20 million undocumented migrants that would put the pressure on a particular geographic economy, right? Because that economy is already spoken for. It's called a budget for your city. But there should have been a census that went out, what people call how many people stay in your house. They may even pop up like the Mormons or something like that, right? Ring your doorbell and all that. Hey, may I help you? Yeah. I don't want to bother you. I know you're eating dinner. That never happens anymore where the family is eating dinner at 5 o'clock. But hey, I don't want to bother you. I know you're eating dinner. I'm just from the Census Bureau. How many people you got staying here, right? Somebody in the back door bust open. Somebody's getting it across the lawn. Yeah, I'm not from ICE, man. I'm not from ICE. Jose, come back. No police here. Jose's out of breath. He gives a crazy answer at the door. Maybe not much, maybe 2, 3, right? It sounds like a whole fucking mariachi band is in there. 2, 3? Nah, maybe. Not much, right? Not much. 2, 3? You sure? It sounds crazy in there right now. You throwing a party? No, just the family. Not for me. What? Right? But they take the budget. They take those numbers and then they give it along with other stuff. Those are not the only variables. But I'm telling you some of the things that are going to be involved in the federal government when they give out that budget to the states. Those numbers are important. Right? Those numbers help predicate how much money we're going to give, along with other stuff. But all of a sudden, there was already too many kids in the class. Freaking 25 kids in the class was really too much already. All of a sudden, they pushing the limits to 40, knowing daggone well they're not supposed to have 40 kids in the class. Why? Because all these other kids just showed up from another country. It done got real in here. And yet, what's going to happen is this. They're going to say we don't have enough money to hire new TAs, teachers assistants. So now you got a teacher and a teacher assistant and they both not getting paid a lot, bro. You put their salaries together and it don't even hit 70,000. You put both of their salaries together and it don't even hit 70,000, and now you got all these kids in here. Come on, man. What are we doing? And then you had the nerve to send 1.5 million to Serbia for some type of diversity, equity, inclusion in the workplace. 2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam. Yo, what? 2.5 million for electrical vehicles in Vietnam, and I swear before Christ, I bet $500 I could drive down here not even a mile before I hit a veteran at the light saying with a sign that says I'm homeless. How we have homeless vets at all. It should be a way that if that homeless person could prove, because they in the system, whether they had their DD-14 or they could prove somehow that they was in the service. Yo, check this out, bro. There should always have been a place for them to stay. So for Elon Musk to take over and get access to all the money that we're spending things on, and the first thing he sees is real estate that we're paying for, 7,500 units that the United States don't necessarily use all of these. They may use some. It's not really necessary that they have some of these, but they just keep paying the monthly lease on it, and yet homeless vets out here. And you have the nerve not to appreciate Donald Trump because you feel that he's racist, because he said, yo, we're going to give police blanket immunity. Well, you got to look at everything. You may not like everything the man say, but watch what he's doing, right? Look, if you think he's racist, then you might be, because of the things he's saying, you might be a little selfish, right? You may be only thinking about your people when he's a president of not just you. He's not just the president of Spanish people. He's not just the president of black people. He's not just the president of white people. He's the president of everybody. So every demographic is not going to be pleased all the time. Sometimes he's going to do things that he's going to show you some attention, as he should, right? We got to take time out to acknowledge these people and these people. It's a daunting task. If I'm too loud, turn down your volume, bro. I don't know if I'm too loud. All right, so we paid $2.5 million for electric cars in Vietnam, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. That's wild. It's not even an amount. It's not even an amount. AK says Usaid should go now. AK, man. We have more things in common than apart, man. Right? I don't care what race you are right now. If you're black, you're white. If you're a white redneck trailer park trash, we should all be offended. If you're a white Brooklynite who lives up there, we should all be offended. Because obviously this money wasn't put to good use right here in the United States. Every day above ground is a day for someone else to, as I call, get busy out here. But when I say get busy, I mean, okay, how am I going to get it today? And how much am I going to get? Am I going to sit at my computer and get it off the screen? Right? Are you going to sit down for 6 months, learn day trading, and then become a beast? Right? Deal with the simulation before you invest real money for like 8 months? Discipline yourself, and then once you feel you got it under control, just I'm jumping out there and see what it does. Because you could change your life just like that, right? You could go from a gangbanger who's selling whatever and really not doing anything in life to saying, yo, I'm gonna just disappear for like 8 months and come back strong. And the next thing you know, your whole life has changed. This is the beautiful thing about life here in the United States, right? But the thing is, although we don't want to believe it, everyone else's situation kind of does affect us a little bit, right? Because the government can't induce poverty without there being a reaction. And I kind of feel like they have, like, I listened to Robert Welch give a speech at the John Birch Society in 1958. And he talked about, the things he's describing is exactly what we're going through now, coincidentally. But he's also describing like an induced inflation, induced poverty. Why would you do this? You have to know there's a consequence to this. Because induced poverty in certain areas is just going to cause an unsafe place. But maybe if there's a place is unsafe, then there's a need for police at lost for words there. At a very demanding rate, right? So these people are so smart. Maybe that's why they have all these think tanks, to try to figure out how to keep that perfect balance without people making too much money that they get out of poverty, right? But just in case they do figure that out, let's add some more things in there. Let's add some more different variables just to make it a real Rubik's Cube of figuring out. Crazy. $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. What? It's not even the amount. It's just like, why are we involved? Why? What? I'm so lost. $2 million for a sex change. Oh God. Uncle Andy, this is crazy. Huh? Take me now! What are you waiting for? Huh? Take me now! This can't be Earth. This can't be Earth. $2 million for sex changes and LGBTQ activism in Guatemala. My name is Jamel Saladin, sir. This is the Poker Face Society. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for coming by. $2 million? Listen, this is the White House. Just in case you see that? Just in case you thought I was out here spewing something from some off-brand website. No, this is the White House. $2 million? Now, there's a big difference from that $32,000 for a transgender comic book, which we don't We don't appreciate any of our tax money going to that. None of us. None of us here. Not the starch white man who owns his own accounting firm with perfect credit. A wife not the poor Latinos and blacks in the ghettos who buy overpriced clothes to feel compensated, listening to that filthy music they call rap. None of us appreciate our hard-earned money going to a transgender comic, the making of a transgender comic book. We just don't understand. We would prefer if you did not invest our money in such ridiculousness. If someone wants to come up with a transgender comic book, let them do it on their own dime. And then if it sells, it sells, right? This is America. But let me tell you something. That $2 million for sex changes, that hit different. And it's not even our country. That $2 million that they gave out for sex changes when North Carolina has gone through such a horrible situation. Flint still does not have clean water. East Palestine, I remember what you made East Palestine go through when they first went through their situation with the derailment of the and right. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist and say and talk about whether that was let's just call it an accident that what happened in East Palestine. So we're not throwing into the conspiracy pile, right? And you add all those chemicals, can contaminate the area. And I remember there being a bureaucratic feud for a second, and it was kind of like, well, you guys don't qualify for FEMA right now. Yo, that's the, why are you going through? It felt like I was betrayed. I don't even live in East Palestine, but I felt like, damn, what is our government doing? I feel betrayed. Like, why aren't they on this situation? Why are they arguing about why can't FEMA just do it and get the money? We'll figure that out later. Right now, we have to get this place quarantined. We have to help these people. We got to get them clean water. We got to get them health care. Why can't, And listen, I'm in project management, so I fully understand the logistics of things and that there's different things involved, legalities, this, that, and the third. But when there's a natural disaster or when there's a federal emergency, that I don't understand why there's not a contingency plan that is outside of the framework of the standard operating procedure, right? This is government. Why isn't there a contingency plan that we go to immediately if this happens? You told East Palestine you didn't have the money, and you had $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. $6 million to fund tourism in these. Yo, Tiger, are you listening to this nonsense, Tiger? Tiger. They said $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, bro. Yeah. Somebody said they got it. Somebody got a new boat. I could guarantee you there was boob jobs, there was dentistry work, huh? There was all type of tavern on the green, 4-season, $1,000 night hotels. Yeah. Somebody was running around living the life of a rock star. That's these budgets don't even make sense. I can't, man. They said follow the money. I pray, and I know they're not. But if they was to come out with the detailed audit of who actually got this money, they know. So, and I know what Trump is going to do. He's not going to release it because this is enough to just alarm the people, but he doesn't want to cause, civil tension amongst us. The same reason he didn't get Hillary Clinton arrested is the same reason he's not going to release the detailed audit. Hold up. The audit might be there. Before I say that, let me hit the link. You are entering 2007, 2020 archive for the United States Agency for Internet. Okay, I don't care about that. United States commits $6 million in bilateral assistance for Egypt. U.S. Ambassador Jonathan Cohen. There we go. Is he appointed or is he voted for? U.S. Ambassador, he's appointed, right? He's an ambassador. Jonathan Cohen, Minister Sahar Nessa, and Mission Director Sherry F. Carlin acknowledged $6 million in bilateral assistance for Egypt. These people are not good for America. Trevor, why you care about my reading skills? Leave him. Don't nobody mess with him. Leave him. Don't nobody mess with him. What book would you want me to read, Trevor? And what is your name inspired by? Is that your real name? Name one in particular. I could read Cat in a Hat. I see you switch to caps. Are you upset? I could read Cat in a Hat. Like, would that satisfy you? Oh, okay. I don't think I can read Cat in a Hat. Okay, tell me the real reason you're upset. Like, never mind if I read this really fast or I stumbled over some words. Why are you upset? Do you like DEI programs? Do you think they should stay? Let's have a conversation. You don't think I can read. Let's see if we can have a conversation. Do you think DEI is good for America? Just tell me that. I've engaged your conversational discourse. Now you engage in mine. Is DEI good for America that we should give this? Yeah, DEI promotes should stay. Okay, that's Jimmy. I'm talking to the other guy who thought I could not read. Oh my God, you don't understand DEI. I think I do. I think I do. But thank you. I'm talking to the other guy. Yes, DEI programs are great for America. I appreciate that. I'm still talking to the other guy. Okay. That's a shame, bro. I was ready to engage, but he didn't want to engage. He insulted my reading, as he should have, right? Anyway, let's get back to this, America. United States spent $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. Great. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a nonprofit linked to designated terrorist organizations, even after an inspector general launched an investigation. Millions to Echo Health Alliance. I wonder what millions is. Like, they're not saying specifically how many millions, but maybe any millions to Echo Health Alliance is too much, which was involved in the research at the Wuhan lab. Huh. And they're not being too specific because we all have working brains, right? So we all know at this point the Wuhan lab was the same place that was in contract with the NIH to fund gain-of-function research. And then now the CIA is saying that they do believe that the virus that shut us down and changed all of our lives and killed millions of Americans, as well as others, it came from there. So again, it sounds like we funded these things. That's what it sounds like to me. It will come out in the wash, but essentially that's what they're saying. Oh, you're gonna love this one. Jesus Christ. Americans, come in. Come here. It's my last one. Come in closer. No! Don't, Uncle Andy, do not block little Gravitas. Don't block little Gravitas. Little Gravitas, unless he's saying something, he or she is saying something sexual or something with curse words, anybody could disagree with me up here. Anybody could disagree with me. They could call me names. They're allowed to call me names. They could disagree with me. I don't want anyone blocked because they disagree with me. JD says, put it this way. Just to scratch the surface, they found 1 trillion so far. Oh, snap. Say word, JD. They found $1 trillion of waste already? Oh, snap. But this is a big one. This is a big one right here. Check this out. Hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel. We hitting 5,000 this weekend. This is a big weekend for us. We will be doing shows Saturday and Sunday. We hitting 5,000 subscribers this weekend. This is a big weekend for the Poker Face Society. But this has to be my favorite. Hundreds of millions. That's not the 2.5 million that they gave to the 2 million they gave to Guatemalans for a sex change. That's not that. How do we know? Because they said hundreds of millions. They gave hundreds of millions. Listen, you got to understand what I'm saying right now. With the words that's about to come out my face, you got to understand. Hundreds of millions of dollars to fund irrigation canals, farming equipment, and even fertilizer used to support unprecedented poppy cultivation and heroin production in Afghanistan, benefiting the Taliban. Oh my goodness, what are we talking about? right? So this is why I don't want you to block little whatever this is, gravitas, right? Just read that person's comments and you make a determination on whether this person is mentally unhinged or not. You don't got to go back and forth with an unhinged. If you feel that person is unhinged, just let that person get busy in the comment section, right? But I would not suggest you go back and forth with an unhinged person. Right? Because from what I know, little Gravity says, yes, because they were selling heroin. Okay. Well, terrorists, what do they use that money for? I mean, I know where I'm from. He says, bro, this isn't a hidden fact. Do you think that's why I'm doing this show? Because it's a hidden fact? Do you think I didn't know that? We didn't have the proof before. Now we got the proof. Did we have the proof before? No, we had conspiracy. I hope the FBI is watching my show, and I hope they get your IP address. You understand? You sound like a terrorist sympathizer. And I hope the authorities go back to my show, find out who you are, get your IP address, and put you in the file. You, sir, sound like a terrorist sympathizer. Oh, yeah. Don't get confused now. Huh? Who? Me? No, bruh. You are I don't know. That's a mad take. You think that I have a mad take? You don't hear yourself. You need help. If I took a vote right now and asked the people who had a mad take, me or you, they're going to say you have a mad take. You sound like a terrorist sympathizer, and this is not what we won't stand for that. This is why I like to let you talk. Keep on talking. Don't nobody block that person. I need the authorities to watch my show. I'm reporting my own show today. Get your IP address and get your monkey ass to Guantanamo Bay or something like that. I need a fucking flashlight. They need to be looking all in your shit. Because you're talking crazy right now. Yeah, wow, bro, I didn't even mean it like that. Now block his ass now. Fuck up out of here. Now block him. Somebody take a snapshot of that. We reporting your silly ass to the authorities. Get him up out of here. Fucking idiot. Come over here with your bullshit information and disinformation. We won't stand for it because it definitely wasn't malinformation you were spreading. You a terrorist sympathizer? Listen, you know how many veterans we got over here? You a terrorist sympathizer over here trying to kick knowledge? Not over here. Shout out to all my veterans. Thank you for your service. Over here talk about, yeah, because the terrorists they was selling it. The CIA was selling it. Yo, shut your mouth, bro. Huh? The stronger that the terrorists get, you think you think this is hidden facts? Did I say I was giving out hidden facts, bro? This is, it doesn't matter what you talk about in the barbershop. This is documented for all to see. It doesn't matter what I say in the barbershop or when I'm just out bullshitting with my friends and what I think. That's conspiracy. I'm not talking conspiracy today. I'm talking what the White House put out. Yo, you think we don't know that? Now you want to go tit for tat on who knows more conspiracies. Shut up. Talking about no goddamn conspiracies. I'm talking about what the Department of Governmental Efficiency actually found. JD said they found a freaking $1 trillion of waste already. You know how disrespectful that is to all of us. Everyone that's a citizen of the United States, man. And it's high time we just stop blaming a president. The president. No. The next time there's an election, we got to bring this up to the person that's asking for our vote. Right? We got to use groupthink on them. We got to use that reverse psychology on them. Where you stand with the DEI budget? See, just let them go. See what come out their mouth. Are they going to let transgenders put the pressure on them? Or are they going to let the working American that wants to have a family so he can procreate out here on the earth? Which one is more important to you? A civilization of transgender and homosexuals who are not interested in having children at all? You tell. We're listening. I won't even persuade that. Well, I want to hear what you got to say. You voting. Why should we vote you in? To go represent us at the legislative branch. Barlow, what's up, bro? I ain't seen my boy Barlow in a second. Was thinking about Barlow. DEI means you fool. I don't understand that. Could you write that in a complete sentence? Please elaborate. I don't know why you feel like you're in a rush. You had all that time to write a comment, and then you wrote DEI means you fool. Write a complete sentence so that we all understand what you mean. And if you're texting and driving, please stop doing that. Right? Because I don't understand why you would be in a rush unless you're in class and you're not supposed to be watching my show right now. Don't nobody block that person. Just keep them. I'm considered DEI because I'm black. I don't want the money. I don't want the money. I don't want DEI money. You might want the DEI money. Maybe you don't got nothing else going on for yourself where you're able to get purchased like that, right? Where they could offer you some trinkets and you get out here and do something strange for some change. That's not my life, sir or ma'am. Or binary and he them, whatever. You understand? That's not my life. Maybe you out here looking to do something strange for a little bit of DEI change. That's not my life. So now you out here, DEI gives opportunity. Yeah. Just as I figured, DEI gives opportunities for work, not money. Come on, educate yourself, man. And besides, it could be something. If you act right, if you play ball, man, it could be something for you, man. I don't want the money. DEI gives opportunities for work, not just money. Educate yourself. I have a high school degree. Is that not good enough? Orderly fool, what's up, bro? What's up, hoes? What's up, fool? Y'all gotta understand, out in California, everyone's a fool. They call the Mexican community out in California is calling everybody a fool. Don't get it twisted. You understand? Just responding. What's up, Vato? You understand? It's not even like a disrespect out in California. They're calling you fool. It's like a. See, his name is Alfredo Macias. That's how you say it. He might be from out west. You understand? He using the word fool, and the other person, I can see they using it totally different. The other person called me a different type of fool, was trying to call me a fool. He said, "What up, fool?" I heard it. I heard the accent and everything. "What up, fool?" So I say, "Yo, what up? Orderly, Holmes." See? There you go. Paul said it. They call each other fool out there. Right now, I'm in Brooklyn, Alfredo. I'm in Brooklyn right now, bro. Now, this is the sad part, right? A lot of people are taking this money. See how that person say, "Yo, educate yourself." That person don't know about DEI. Therefore, I can't. What do you want me to do? These people are probably benefiting from it. You understand? If I had to take a guess of what is your name? Trash Shia? Is that a real name? So a black man don't want equal opportunity is crazy work. That she is black. Right? That's all I need to know right there, right? You see? I can tell if you Mexican or you black. If you give me a full sentence, I say baby girl is black. All right, here's the thing. What's this? Trashia? Jesus. It's crazy work. Here's the thing, Trashia. DEI, we already had affirmative action, Trashia. Did you know that? Why did the black man need why did the black man need two programs, governmental programs, to make sure that he was included and just equally amongst civilization? We already had a program that made sure that we had an equal opportunity. It was called affirmative action. So I'm going to say that you're incorrect there. It's not that I don't want opportunity or equal opportunity. We already had that. That was already in place. DEI is not for you, Trashia. You may not want to acknowledge that, but it was a program that had to include you for the validity of the program. Because without black people, the program is just transgenders and handicapped people. For future generations. For what future generations? Trashia, do the audit. You don't gotta listen to me because you hyped up off DEI and you emotional right now. Let me bring it down for you. I could troll you right now, but I truly want you to understand. Just so you know I'm not lying to you. When the audit comes out, and you don't have to wait for the audit to come out. All you have to do is type in the highest recipients of the DEI. It is not going to be black people. It's not going to be black people. I'm telling you this. So therefore, don't go back and forth with me and thus throw off our energy with each other because you think DEI benefits us, bro. Not enough for me to compromise and sell out my constituents, they're not in constituents, my fellow citizens of America. I'm not up here on a black power soapbox. I don't live in America by myself. I don't intend on doing business by myself. So therefore, I'm looking at the greater good for everybody, not just the color of just black people. Women benefit from it too. How? Tell me the programs that helped out women. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. In my opinion, because I don't have the data in front of me, women didn't have a problem in this country. You might have some problems with sexual harassment when you get in there, and that's what human resources is for. And then there was things to stop that. But as far as women finding work in America, women, what type of opportunities you need? You already had the minorities women's business certification for that, right? I'm a part of that. I have that. I have that with the city of New York, and I had that with the county of Westchester. And you can get that on like 4 different levels: the city, the county, the state, and the feds. We already had these programs to benefit women and minorities. These programs have already existed. This DEI is not what you think. It's something that's created to veil the true intentions of what it is, whatever this program is for, which we know. It's to usher in transhumanism. It has nothing to do, right? It is to condition the mind to accept transhumanistic behavior. That's what it's for. I know you don't believe me, because I'm just a guy up here that looks crazy, right? I got the shades on. I got the baseball cap. 5 o'clock is wicked. I look like I'm living in my car. He surely don't understand nothing. I look like that guy, right? Subscribe to my channel, and I assure you, you will find out I know more than I say I know. And I won't just say that. If you subscribe to the channel, you're going to find out I do hours of lectures breaking things down. The people that are here that are subscribed to the channel, they will tell you this. So it's not what you think it is. Furthermore, I'm looking at the waste, and the waste is ridiculous. Now, out of everything that I just said, you didn't really respond to the fact that we spent $2 million on sex changes in Guatemala, and we spent hundreds of millions of dollars on growing heroin for the Taliban. Like, how do you respond to that? Why are you upset that, well, it's none of my business why you upset that the DEI programs are no longer being in effect. But I want you to respond to what I just told you. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's good for America? Do you think that, listen, you know what ROI means? It means return on investment. In order for me to invest hundreds of millions of dollars, I would have to expect billions of dollars, right? I would have to expect billions of dollars. So that gives me a gauge of how much the Taliban actually made off of heroin alone, not including the equipment that was left over there when stupid Biden just left the way he did, you know? So are you also a terrorist? I don't get that vibe that you're a terrorist sympathizer. I don't. The last guy was. I don't get that. But when you say it's okay for terrorists to make billions of dollars so that you could get, how much this DEI program, the max you think you was going to get from this DEI program? Let's just say you got something outrageous like 20 grand a year. You personally, that you was able to get from it. Do you think that 20 grand a year is worth it if it's also funding the trafficking? And you got to understand, when I say trafficking, it may not, them themselves may not be, the United States may not be doing the sex trafficking themselves, but they're helping people who do sex trafficking and people trafficking. They're helping them to make billions of dollars. You have to understand this. So they're stronger now. They can design a elaborate logistics to get people from point A in America to point B wherever as a sex slave or just a worker somewhere. All because we helped them get billions of dollars. So that you can, and you signed off on it so that you can make $20,000 from the situation. $20,000. You signed off on a boy getting raped by some grown man, a little girl. Same situation. People's loved ones, kids, snatched and gone. All organs being harvested, right? You signed off on that for 20 grand so you could get 20 grand. No, in this waste now. It's DEI is not what you think it is. You were not the highest recipient of the money. I already know who the highest recipient, who it says the highest recipient of the money was. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Make me around. These people, I got old men staring me down. They upset. I guess I'm in the way. You understand? Old men upset. That pothole is ridiculous. That's a crazy pothole, my boy. All right, let's get over here. Wait. All right. Again, I don't know how anyone can feel or justify the waste. I mean, from what I see, this is the same behavior. When they tell me hundreds of millions of dollars was spent on the growing of heroin, there's no different. Right? Think about how many people have died either using heroin, selling heroin, right? So the ramifications from these acts are many, because this is also keeping the private prison industry open, right? So not only do they grow the heroin that eventually some of our vets even get on because they can't handle what they seen when they was over there on in these wars that many say that didn't even have to happen. They were induced wars that didn't have to happen either. But because war creates money, then they found a reason to go to war. They use the pawns, the young boys here and the young women here in the United States. These people get over here, they see things that their mind can't handle. They get over here, they get back home. And the irony is they get on the same drugs that the United States had a silent part in even growing. And then they outlaw it over here. This is the same behavior they did with the Iran-Contra scandal. When Congress shut down the funding, and then they said, and then they decided we're going to sell drugs now. And then they brought the drugs in. It devastated the black community. I just told you that both of my birth parents was on heroin. Why would I, both of my birth parents was on heroin. My adopted father was on crack cocaine. And now I'm reading to you and I'm telling you that the government could have had a part to play in both of those situations. Definitely the crack cocaine. Did I ever tell you how my father got on crack cocaine? He was a truck driver. This is before they had the hydraulic seats. They had the spring seats that didn't work so well. They weren't really bouncy. And as he's riding all over the place, his organs are shifted, this, that, and the third. He's holding his pee. He developed kidney stones. He had to go in for an operation. And what did they give him? They gave him something that the FDA swore to God was not addictive. But I don't know how the FDA swore to God it wasn't addictive, because they had denied the application at least 5 times earlier. But somehow the director of the FDA changed his mind, and he told the people of America that Oxycontin is not addictive. Turns out he was lying. Millions believed him. Many households were interrupted by their loved ones dealing with addiction. And because my father could not find a legal prescription to the Oxycontin, he turned to the street pharmaceuticals, which the government had helped bring in. All of this is, I mean, you say follow the money keep leading back to the government for some reason. The money keep leading back to the government. So we gotta really, it's not that I want the government to be the boogeyman. I would pray that it wasn't. It just, the evidence, I'm not an idiot. So it's like the evidence that's in front of me, I gotta accept it at some point, especially if you put it on the White House webpage. I mean, what do you want me to do after you put it on the White House webpage and say, yeah, we was caught selling, growing heroin too. Not selling it, but we helped grow it. We invested millions of dollars in growing it. They were very explicit with the details. It says the irrigation canals, farming equipment, fertilizer to support poppy cultivation and heroin in Afghanistan. I mean, it's very clear what we spent money on. Hit the like button. Shout out to all the vets I got in the house. Listen, what did I do? We did 140 today. I'm gonna end the show here, right? And I just want to summarize with this, right? At the end of the day, this was very wasteful. And at the end of the day, we did have a lot of things that we could have took care of, like the people in North Carolina, like the water in Flint, Michigan. East Palestine is still not good, right? Like there's so many things that we really could have took care of with this type of money that you keep on saying. I mean, for God's sake, the black people have been asking for reparations for how long? It's to me, I feel like in the conversation. End the conversation. Make them an offer, the foundational black American people. Just make them an offer at this point so that we can stop having a conversation. Right? So it's kind of like disrespectful that you had a bunch of money that you could spend a lot of stuff on, but the stuff you chose to spend it on is actually absolutely ridiculous. It's insulting. It's insulting. So I want to thank Donald Trump. I want to thank Elon Musk and the entire Doge department for that work. The work you're doing right there is actually making America great again, because it's stopping the waste. And I think once we stop, now that we're stopping it, I guess the next step is to actually say, okay, where the money is going to be allocated to, right? So, these are my thoughts on this topic here. This weekend, we're going to hit 5,000 subscribers. You could be a part of that. I appreciate everyone that came over today, whether they was trolls, whether they were genuine observers of the show, whether you liked the show or not. I do appreciate it. Right? That being said, have a blessed Friday. Have a blessed weekend. You're going to see me in the weekend anyway, and we're going to talk about some more stuff, all right? My name is Jamel Saladin. This is the Poker Face Society. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.